Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to GCYAA Football on Omni Edition Sports, the extended sports weekend here in Garden City as we are televising Game 3 of this weekend. You've seen soccer, you've seen Garden City High School football, and now we're going to see JV football, GCYAA style. I am Ted Fournier along with Phil Henry, and we're about ready to start, Phil. And the Livonia Orioles are kicking off to our Garden City Cougars.
Kicking off and a nice retrieve by the Cougars as they take it and tackled right at the 37-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10, Ted, as this game right here, the Cougars are going to take the ball first after receiving the kickoff. And that first game that we saw, the actual freshman game, didn't go so well for Garden City. So we're hoping that they can shake that off and have a nice game here this afternoon.
Yes. This is a wonderful afternoon here. We're fighting off the rain clouds here, and it's wet, and we're about ready to see 10 and 11-year-olds go at each other. These are between probably about 75 pounds and 150-pound kids going at each other this afternoon.
And the handoff off tackle is running back for Garden City, and he gets about to the line of scrimmage, Ted. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Here we're in the opening seconds of the first quarter. This game between the Garden City Cougars and the Livonia Orioles. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier. And
the Cougars are in the new blue uniforms that they've had. They used to be a green and kind of a San Diego style uniform, and the Orioles are in their brand new away uniforms, the white shirts and the black pants, and trimmed with orange all over the place.
Looking very Oriole-ish as back to pass, and it throws a bubble screen, and that ball is going to be ruled a catch, but down on one knee is number 45, Nathan Ramos.
Basically, it was a lateral, and it was behind the line of scrimmage, and if that ball hit the ground, it would have been a fumble.
Dustin Frazee, the quarterback for Garden City, number 16. Then his first one was, like you said, it was designed to be a pass, but it was behind him, so it ended up being considered a lateral, and that was a loss on the play. That brings up 3rd down and a long 15 yards to go here in the opening minutes of the first quarter of this JV action. Frazee calling the signals, man in motion, handed off to the back coming in, number 5.
Flag on the play.
Number 7, Jacob Ledesic on a counter play there, Ted. Did a nice job coming off tackle there, but there is a flag on the play. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, but this one looks like it's going to go against Garden City.
We have not a sloppy field here today. It's rained a lot during the freshman game, and we're expecting rain off and on. We have a weatherman here in the stadium, and as soon as we get a chance, we'll get down to him, and he'll tell you what to expect here for this afternoon's contest. As
Frazee gets his marching orders from head coach Mike Twigg, he comes back out. He's calling the play. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th down and 9 to go at the 40-yard line, Ted. Frazee's going to be underneath the center.
I think that's number 10 in their quarterback right now, Phil.
Hunter Waynick?
Yeah. Frazee's on the sidelines.
Waynick hit as he throws, and it is caught out there or ruled incomplete. It was a bang play as number 46 or 40. These numbers are.
The sixes and zeros are hard to see out there.
Well, I see you have the binoculars on, so we're going to we'll get
it,
those
it
numbers worked out.
It was number 10 quarterback in there.
Hunter Waynick, the quarterback.
Okay. We're all set up to tell you exactly about the weather right here at the end of this play, so Phil.
Drew also Brooks taking over now at quarterback for the Orioles, number 11, and he pitches out. It's fumbled in the backfield, and there's a scramble for the football, Ted, and it looks to me like Garden City has it, and it's officiated that way. So at the 45-yard line, Garden City takes over on the fumble, and we've got a weatherman here that's going to tell us a little bit about what we need to know.
Doppler Tom Iwinski, Garden City celebrity weatherman here, is down the field. Take it away, Tom.
Okay, the weather is been on and off rain throughout the day, and we're gonna be will be seeing some more rain. It's pretty much variably cloudy out there, and as we look at the radar, there is some more rain that's gonna start moving through. It's only light to moderate rain. We're not seeing any heavy rain or thunderstorms, so it's going to be on and off rain throughout much of the game today. So people with umbrellas, ponchos, and the bleachers need to keep them active because this rain will continue on and off.
Well, I think that's some good news, Ted, that it sounds like it's going to be a light rain, and, you don't want to see the heavy rains affecting, the play in the field whatsoever. As Garden City taking over after the fumble recovery here, it'll be 2nd down and 10, and it's Jacob Ladasic calling the signals, number 7 for Garden City. Man in motion.
Yes.
Ladasic calling his own numbers. He tries to get outside, and he's going to be swarmed in by a host of Orioles, and that's going to go for about a 3 or 4 yard loss, Ted, as the Orioles seem to have penetration on the line of scrimmage.
Orioles play a tough defense. They're coming off of a loss last weekend. They had a tough loss against, I think it was the Great Lakes Gators up there in the Wall Lake area, and they lost it late in the 4th quarter on a late touchdown, and so they've had a tough week of practice, and they're ready to go.
And this is going to bring in Hunter Waynick now to call the signals, number 10. Hunter Waynick coming in here. He's age 11 and a 75-pounder behind the center. This brings up 3rd down and 13. Garden City here in the opening minutes of the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. Waynick back to pass, and he throws it behind the receiver. Number
David
21.
McDaniel. David McDaniel actually was falling down as the pass got to him. It was just a little cross-the-line pass there.
And Hunter Waynick just maybe felt a little bit of the heat coming, Ted. I think he had a rush coming on there, and he just basically threw that one just a little bit too soon.
Well, it's 4th down at about 14. And the whole play of this whole game has been within 10 yards. It's no team's been able to get something going.
Always in 4-down territory primarily, as it is now 4th and 13 for the Cougars. Waynick still behind center as he goes back into the shotgun formation now.
Is he going to punt?
Takes it up high, shovel pass underneath. Number 25, Fuchs with the ball, trying to get outside, and he is brought down at the original line of scrimmage, so it'll go over on downs to the Livonia Orioles. Still no score here in the first quarter. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier. And Ted, this game right here is being played right at the middle of the field. Last night we had a game here, so we could see that that could be the tough part of the field for footing.
Jacob Zerlog on the tackle there. He stopped that play for the Orioles. Yeah, but that game last night was played on the whole field. It wasn't played in the middle.
As number 11, Drew Alsobrooks, is the signal caller for the Orioles. Hands off to the back man. He cuts to the outside, and he's got some running room on the outside as it's now off to the races. Tries to cut it back in, and a nice sure tackle down there by Jacob Ladesic brings down number 21, Joseph Schmidt.
Joseph Schmidt is the go-to running back here for the Orioles. He's the all-purpose back. He will run all day long. In the previous years that we've seen Joe, he's run for many, many touchdowns for the Orioles.
Well, he did. He had nice field vision right there, Ted, as he broke the ball to the outside. He was the back man in the I formation. So once again, Drew also Brooks bringing his Orioles to the line of scrimmage. He's the quarterback, number 11. I formation. Deep back is Jacob Schmidt. And there's the pitch to Schmidt, and he's going to try the right side, and he's got some running room out there. He's got a step on the defenders, Ted. They're going to cut him down, and he's in. He's signaled in for a 24-yard scamper around the right end, and Livonia draws first blood as they get on the board with a 24-yard run by the workhorse for, you said, Joseph Schmidt.
Basically, if you look at the last two plays, there was the USC offense from the 70s of student body right, student body left. You know, everybody flowed to the left on the one play, and then everybody flowed to the right. And Joe Schmidt, a very fast scat back in the backfield, scored the first touchdown with 7:20 on the clock in the first quarter.
And I think the importance too there was the pitch from also Brooks, as he pitched it out deep and allowed Schmidt to really get a nice head of steam going as he caught the ball right in stride, and that gives him a step on the Garden City defenders as Livonia puts 6 on the board, and they're going for the extra point now. This will be actually worth 2, and the kick is up, and it is over, and the extra point is good, and that will make the score 8 for the Orioles, and the Cougars have yet to score with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
This play, Schmidt is running to his left, and he gets tackled on this play, and basically the next play is running it to the right.
Yeah, that's about as classic as you can get right there, Ted. Like you said, student body left, student body right. But the key, once again, also Brooks pitching that ball out and allowing Schmidt to catch it in stride. And by the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, he is really moving.
One of the things I want to clear up, and you mentioned it, is that in this football, in the 10-11 football, if you you kick the ball, it's 2 points. If you run the ball in for an extra point, it's 1. That's one of the few rules here. Everybody's got to play at least 5 plays a half. You'll see a lot of substitution, and if one team gets up by 18 points, you'll actually see 8 players sat off on what I like to call Gilligan's Island, because they cannot play if there's an 18-point spread, and it becomes a sportsmanship issue.
So in this point, if you have a kicker, you have a weapon right there, and that's what the Orioles showed us. They had a kicker for 2 points, and the kickoff after the touchdown is in for in. Bounces underneath of the Garden City player. He picks it up at the 20-yard line, number 25 for GC, Fuchs, and he is going to be hemmed in and brought down at the midfield.
All right, now we're going to take a look at the touchdown. You'll see the pinch. You'll see right Joe Schmidt in the back. He takes it, and then he gets a great outside block, and there's nothing between him and the end zone. Late chance there to try to push him out of bounds, but Schmidt is pretty adept running back. Not only is he fast, he has some great sensibility about cutting and stopping, and you'll see that throughout the evening.
Yeah, and you saw that vision of his right there as he went for the corner. He was almost driven out at the 1-yard line, but he ducked it right back into the pylon and got the touchdown call. This is going to bring Garden City with the ball. They're at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 here in the opening quarter. It's 8-0 the Orioles. Signal is handed off to the back man. That's Hunter Waynick handing off, and he is stacked up for no gain, maybe even a loss of a yard. Jeremy Fuchs, who just tried to run back that kickoff right there, he's shown himself to be a durable back in the Garden City offense.
And one of the big studs here on the Oriole team, Evan Lay, 150-pound 11-year-old, right in the middle of that line, messed up that whole play.
Garden City now 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 23-yard line. Waynick, or this could be Ledasic. They've been taking turns. Number 7, Jacob Ledasic. And there's a double reverse, and that ball is on the ground, and it's pounced on. And it looks like one signal is for the Orioles, and it's going to be a change of possession, Ted, here deep in Garden City territory. As the double reverse ended up with a ball on the ground and an Oriole on top of it.
Well, any time that you have multiple handoffs or a little razzle-dazzle, you always run the risk of putting the ball on the turf, and remember that ball is slightly wet. There's a layer of water on that field, and the more you hand it off, the more chance for a problem that you have.
As the Orioles are going to take over here, going to be a timeout called by Garden City. As Mike Twigg saw something that he didn't like, he wanted to bring his guys together. This is a very good point in the game to do something like this, Ted. After a turnover deep in your own territory, you want to make sure that you're on the same page with your defense.
Well, these guys, they're tough guys, but basically, 10 and 11, you're still dealing a lot with emotion. That's one thing I'm proud of over here. There's the new Cougar symbol that's on all the helmets, and it's on the center of the field, and last night they had the big inflatable Cougar helmet as the team runs out. It's a new era of Cougar football here, and it's starting right here at these levels. Junior football is Scott Murray, the varsity coach for the high school, is also very instrumental in running this GCYAA football program. So he's got control of everything from 8 years old to 18 years old here at Garden City football.
And it's fantastic, too. You see a nice turnout here by the parents. We've got cheerleaders going on, so it's a big event. It's kind of hard to find even a parking place out in the parking lot, Ted, as the Orioles take over. And also Brooks in the shotgun formation, and there's going to be penalty flags on both ends. We're in the first quarter of this game. The Orioles have just recovered a fumble in the Garden City backfield as they're going to get the ball for the second time. They've already scored. They lead 8-0, and they're going to march back 5.
And just as it is probably full disclosure, I am a fan of the Livonia Orioles. I've been following them. My grandson's played in the unit. And one of the problems they've had this year, is, especially last week in their defeat, is penalties. And many times they don't get set and they start to play. And this might be a problem that they have to work out. But they actually felt a couple penalties cost them the game last week.
And Drew Brooks, the quarterback. He's now under center. He originally was back in the shotgun formation. And there's a play, another pitch out to Schmidt. Schmidt has running room. There's a Garden City player up to try and bring him down, and he rambles and then he breaks through, Ted, and he's going to go all the way for a 25-yard touchdown run.
Joe Schmidt has been carrying the ball since he was in flag football, and he is a consummate back. He has different speeds. He's tough. It takes him more than one hit to bring him down, and then you saw a good example of some of his skills. As that was about, what,
25-yarder as he took the pitch. And he looked like he was hemmed in. The Garden City player dove for his legs, which is the only shot he had at him. And then he just powered his way through a series of Garden City tacklers and broke free at the 10-yard line and waltzed to the end zone. A very impressive 25-yard run by Schmidt. And now for the kick of the extra point is Drew Brooks. He's been successful once and just a little short this time. So that'll go up as 6 points, making the score 14 for the Orioles and nothing for the Cougars.
Now watch this touchdown. You think he stopped. He's coming across, and right here it looks like he's had it, and then boom, he breaks through into the end zone. Nice run.
Yeah, he just basically ran over that Garden City tackler, and then once he got free, he was 10 yards unscathed into the end zone for the 6 points. That's 2 touchdowns for Joseph Schmidt, number 21, a 24-yarder and a 25-yarder.
In less than a minute.
So the Orioles have a 14-0 lead, and they will kick off to Garden City again.
The problem, now remember, if this gets to be 18, you and I have done games before where the starting team in like 3 or 4 plays is done for the day.
Yeah, they sit out and they get to watch, but that's the whole thing. Everybody gets to play at this level. Everybody gets an opportunity to learn. Also, Brooks to be kicking off to Garden City. We're in the first quarter, 6 minutes, 22 seconds. I'm Phil Henry. He's Ted Fournier. Fielded cleanly by Fuchs, and Fuchs is trying to get to the outside, and he is hemmed in, brought down by a high tackle at the 35-yard line where the Cougars will take over.
Number 34, Dawson Suddenmeyer was the first one down there on the hit. Nice tackle.
Yeah, he grabbed him around the shoulder pads, Ted, and sometimes you can shake those off, but he gripped him pretty tight and reeled him on in. As number 7, Jacob Ladasic will start out the signal calling for the Cougars.
Last night you and I both did high school games in the area, and one of the comments we made in our game over here, Phil, was that there seems to be a lot of high tackling that the NFL has already said horse collaring's out, and they really haven't eliminated it in the younger divisions.
Yeah, they don't want you to get a good grip in there as the ball is handed off, and finding running room is off the side is David McDaniel. He found some running room off the right side, so he's going to pick up about 5 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Cougars. Officially a gain of 6.
Well, it's whatever Kevin Kramus, the field announcer, says it is. It doesn't matter where the flag is, doesn't matter where the yard marker is. Whatever Kevin says it is, it is.
And he's got the eye as the Cougars now working under center as Ladasic. Man in motion. Hand off to the first back, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He may even be pushed back a yard, Ted. Going is tough in the center of that Oriole lineup. Orioles have standing up their blockers and making things real difficult for the Garden City running back to get through.
David McDaniel, 21 on the carry. He tried to get through the line, but there was no opening. Nice play. That front four for the Orioles are pretty tough kids.
And this is going to bring in their passing. So far, he's been their passing quarterback is Hunter Waynick, number 10. Waynick seems to pass the ball when he's in, and then Ladasic has been the handoff man so far, and he's going to be under center.
Nobody really split out. Everybody's been tight on a kind of a veer formation.
Man in motion, and his ball is handed off to number 7, and he tries to scoot there as Ladasic, the sometimes quarterback, took the handoff, tried to find some running room up the center, and picked up about 2 yards on it. It's going to bring up at least a 4th down and long 2 to go.
Number 13, Jacob Parker, very aggressive on the corner, came up and stopped that play for the Orioles.
Waynick gets his signal. He's coming back in. This is a big 4th down here in the first quarter as Garden City's trailing. They don't want to get this game too far out of hand. They're down 14-0 here in the first. They could use a sustained drive and get some points on the board, Ted.
They need a first down just to get himself a little adrenaline going.
Waynick under center. He pitches out, and this is going to be the double reverse again, Ted, and its ball is on the ground. This time it looks like Garden City recovered, but they're going to give it up on downs to the Orioles.
Nathan Ramos is the gentleman that comes around from the far side to get the second handoff, and both times the pitch has been either off of his arms or he hasn't had a clean exchange, and the Orioles come up with the ball.
And we'll take a look at this one, Ted. And we'll see what happened. The first handoff was rather clean, and then like you said, it was the second handoff, and that's what they've had problems with it. Is I guess we're not going to see this one, and so back on the attack is going to be the Orioles with Drew, also Brooks, and he calls his own number right straight up the middle on a quarterback sneak, and a nice tackle by the Garden City players. He grabbed him low and brought him down, or else there might have been some more running room for Also Brooks.
Also Brooks just gets to the line of scrimmage on that play and looks to the left and right of the center, and wherever the gap is, as soon as he gets the ball, he actually shot from that as soon as he got the ball, and he shot forward for the yardage. But it's just a matter you make the decision when you get up to the center.
Also Brooks over the center. This time he's going to hand it off, and the going is real tough in the center of the Oriole and Cougar lines, and it'd be basically no game. That's going to bring up 3rd down in probably about 7 yards.
Jacob Monteith was right there in the middle, big number 64.
They're trying to soften them up because we've seen when their go-to play seems to be the in pitches. So right now they're trying the center of the defense for the Cougars and finding rough going. Also Brooks still in at quarterback. Now he's in the shotgun formation. There's a handoff on the up man, and he's trying to find running room on the outside, and he jukes to the outside. He's in first down territory, and he's dropped at the 20-yard line. As Also Brooks hands off to number 13, Jacob Parker, and that was an underneath handoff, Ted, right there, and he picked up the necessary yardage for the first down. They're going to move those chains.
Parker weaved his way in and out there. Watch this. He cuts in, stiff arms. There's a lost start. Little deke in and out, spun around, and now he's just waiting for somebody to shove him out of bounds.
And that was great positioning by number 10, Hunter Waynick. Really held his ground and let the runner come right to him and stopped him right there at the 20 for no further damage. Also Brooks calling signals. He pitches out to Schmidt. Schmidt this time tries to cut to the outside, and he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he tried to get away, but great pursuit by the men in blue there, led by number 11. Nick Zuby was in on that tackle there. Nick just stuck with him and didn't give Schmidt a chance to get outside.
Yeah, Schmidt definitely tried to make a move. As the Orioles have the ball here, we're winding down in the first quarter of action. They have a 14-0 lead over Garden City. Also Brooks calling signals. Man in motion, pitched out, double reverse, and this is going to probably going to be a 5-yard mark off against the Orioles, as it looked like the play was a little slow getting started.
And, you know, we documented earlier that that they just seem to be a little account off. And there's a lot of times as you watch the Orioles, you think they left too early, but it's kind of like a timing. And sometimes they get away with it, and you know, now they've been called for it twice.
Ball's on the 26-yard line. It's second down and 16 for the Orioles. They're up 14-0 over Garden City here in the first quarter of action. JV football. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier. Also Brooks in from the shotgun formation going out to the right side. He cuts it back in, finds a host of tacklers there at the 15-yard line. That's going to bring up a third down in probably about 4 yards to go, Ted, as also Brooks picks up some nice run gain on the right side.
Well, that's one of those new plays that have taken over football over the course of the last 4 or 5 years with the Wildcat offenses, where it's a direct snap to the quarterback and it's a planned run. Everybody goes and blocks to their left, and he just runs to the right side, hoping that he's got everybody on their back side. But that's a not even the old quarterback draw. That's just a Wildcat quarterback's going to get the ball and run play. And Tim Tebow-ish.
He had terrific field vision as he's now under center. Also, Brooks is under center, and he takes the snap, and he's looking, and he's going to pass. He's a left-hander, and he finds a man down there, and it is signaled as a touchdown. And number 4, California, reeled that one in. He had defenders all over him, Ted. He had great coverage, and he just made a terrific play to reel that one in for a 15-yard touchdown catch.
I think you described it okay. Yeah, it was a simple pass route on the outside, and Cal was covered. California was covered, and he just went up and got picked that one up at the top of the flight of the ball, and came down in the end zone for another touchdown.
Well, and what the thing was is Fournier he was actually looking at the quarterback and the ball the whole time, and he had the defender turned around, Ted, and I think that's what really what we're going to see here in the replay.
That's right. The defender never saw the ball. Number 25 never looked for the ball, never saw the ball, and Cal saw it all the way and brought it in.
Yes, a terrific catch, too, when you're down there in the end zone. Nice focus by California, and he reeled that one in for a 15-yard catch, and that puts Livonia in great shape here with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter as they're up by 20-0 over the Cougars. And scored in a variety of ways. They have running, and then now with the pass, they give Garden City quite a bit to think about now on the offensive end.
It's been all Orioles here in the first quarter. 11 and 10-year-old junior varsity football. GCYAA football here on Omni Edition's Extended Sports Weekend. Dan York and his crew out here all week long, bringing you sports. This is the third of 4 games. Ted Fournier, Phil Henry here on the call. And the Orioles are trying to tee up the ball here. You see some real scientific, now you got a little Jason Hansen going there, making sure the ball's right at the right thing, counting out his steps.
Oh, sidewinder here. Also, Brooks had been doing it now. He kicks it off, and it's in for in. It goes over the original receiver's hands, and he's just going to have to fall on it at the 30, Ted.
That's a great play. Just fall on it. At least you get the ball. It's number 21, David McDaniel, fell on that. And you don't want to do anything fancy. First of all, that ball's wet. Second of all, the ball's not round, so you never know which way it's going to bounce. And if they, that's a free ball. Once it leaves the tee, it's a free ball.
Yeah, Oki did a nice job. He placed that ball in for in right where there wasn't a receiver for Garden City. So Garden City's going to take over. There's 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. They're trailing 20-0, and calling the signals for them is going to be Jacob Ladasic. Ladasic has been kind of their running quarterback, if you will, and then he's alternated with Hunter Waynick, the passing quarterback at this point. Man in motion for Garden City, handed to the up back. He's got room up the middle, and he's just tripped up before he could really get ahead of steam, and that looks like Hunter Waynick.
Number 60.
Number 60.
Jacob Grant on the carry. Yeah, you'll see some weird numbers in weird positions. Usually 60 is a guard, and he's in the backfield. I just want to tell you that the 8 stranded marooned Orioles are out on Gilligan's Island now, so you should see Garden City starting to pick up some offensive flow here as the starting 8 are.
And so that brings the end of the first quarter here as the Orioles have pretty much had their way with Garden City. They've had 2 touchdown runs by Joe Schmidt, and then they've also connected on a 15-yard touchdown pass. They've connected on an extra point. They lead Garden City 20-0, and will be taking over in the second quarter. And Garden City right now needs to sustain something, Ted. They need to get a nice drive off and try to get themselves back in this game.
All right, we're going to go back down and see if the weather's changes. We got Doppler Tom down there. Tom Iwinski with the latest on the weather. Take it away, Tommy.
Yeah, this rain has now started to pick up again at the stadium. People need to remain using their jackets, ponchos, and jackets throughout the rest of the game because this rain is going to continue throughout much of the game. Today is it started out pretty chilly. Right now it's 51 degrees. The rain, the high was around 58 or so. It's been a pretty brisk day as well. The winds are pretty calm right now, but they're a little brisk out here. We've seen around about 0.04 inches of rain, and the humidity is pretty high as well. It's around 88%, so it's a humid, chilly day. So you just need to keep those jackets and those umbrellas handy throughout the entire game if you're in the stadium.
Ledesic calling signals for Garden City here, starting the second quarter in the I formation, hand up to the back, and he is going to be dropped down just as soon as he takes a handoff as there's deep penetration by the Orioles, and that's going to bring up third down and probably 7 yards to go for Garden City.
I think what we're getting right now is that, remember, everybody's got to play 5 plays, and they have on each squad what they call the developmental. The English language is escaping me today. And so what we got is everybody's got to have at least 5 plays. So the coaches are going to be making substitutions here, and I think that last play was the developmental squad in there.
And Hunter Waynick goes back to calling the signals. He's under center right now as no one is wide. Runner in motion, and the ball is handed off in running room, and he breaks it to the outside, and he's stiff-armed one, and he's in the open. Ted is number 35 is running with the, and he's going to go in for a touchdown.
Well, that was a case where the Orioles got caught in a blitz. They brought their middle linebacker up the line, and he shot past the back. And once he got past that, there was only one person back. Number 4, California, chased him down, but he had a couple steps on the defense. But they gambled and lost. The Orioles gambled and lost, and once they broke through the line, there wasn't anybody home.
And I believe that was 25, Gerald Fuchs. As I'm having still problems with these numbers, Ted. The jerseys are just a little oversized for these guys. I'm pretty sure it was number 25. Fuchs did a great job, showed a stiff arm as he took the handoff, broke to the outside, and then had a burst of speed. And that gets Garden City on the board, exactly what they needed. They're going to go for a 1-point conversion right here. 1 point if they get it in this way. Hunter Waynick calling the signals under center. Wing formation, he hands it to the up back number 44, and that's Bennett Murray, and he is stacked up, and the extra point will be no good. So here with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter, Garden City's on the board, and here's the replay, and there's the starts as the end, and then Fuchs breaks it to the outside. There's that great stiff arm right there, Ted. And now once he's got that goal line in his eyes, he really put on a nice burst of speed.
Yeah, it was a 70-yard touchdown pass, and sometimes when you blitz and you're hoping to get them in the backfield, but one quick block, a little push or shove to the right direction, and all of a sudden 10 of your 11 players are across the line of scrimmage, and they're looking at the back going the other direction.
Absolutely, that was run on the as he came from in motion. Handed off nicely, and he broke it off guard and then broke it to the outside. And once he saw that end zone, boy, he really picked him up and put him down. Garden City's on the board here with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're now trailing 20-6 to Livonia. And that's going to bring back the purgatory guys, Ted. So now Livonia will have the full complement of players.
You know, I've always wondered when you're sitting out there which team those guys are rooting for. You know, they want to play, and they're saying, well, we can't play until the other team scores. So you just wondered if you really got honesty out of them, what they'd be saying.
Well, I think they want to play. You know, we have Doppler Tom down there giving us the weather forecast, and weather is potential today. But these kids don't notice anything. Weather's not affecting this football game. Number 21 makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch at the 30-yard line. He's got running room up to the 50s, over the 50 into Garden City territory, and brought down as
Joe Schmidt.
Joe Schmidt caught that ball over his shoulder and then just got a nice burst of speed up, and it was a 25-yard return. And Livonia's back in business at their going to take over at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10. Livonia ahead, the Orioles ahead 20-0. They've gone with Drew also Brooks at quarterback, and then their big workhorse running back Joe Schmidt, number 21, who just carried that one back, has been in the end zone 2 times today. Also, Brooks is going to be working from the shotgun. He's got number 57 out to his side. That's Jacob Sherlag. Man in motion, hand it off to Schmidt. Schmidt getting running on the outside. There's a block by Sherlag. Schmidt hurdles a player. Nice tackle, Ted. Probably a touchdown-saving tackle down there by Ladasic.
Schmidt comes from the far side of the formation. We've seen Schmidt in the side of the lineup. We've seen him in the deep eye back. He comes at you from a lot of different angles.
Yes, he does. And that when the quarterback is back in the shotgun formation, he hands that ball off, on the short side. That's been a devastating play. It's gone for a touchdown, and this time it was big yardage by Schmidt. 1st and 10 for the Orioles. Once again, the same formation, only this time the blocking is to the left. Then this time it's faked, and also Brooks tried to call his own number, and a nice play is number 60, Jacob Grant. Stayed at home, if you will, Ted, and reeled in also Brooks before he had a chance to get anything going. A loss of about
also
3.
Brooks saw Grant coming, and he tried to stop on the brakes, but the wet field and his feet kind of just went out of underneath him. But it's going to be tough to cut. It's going to be tough to make really sharp cuts out there. And, it's like a light coating of moisture on the grass right now.
Formation, that's the undertime. This time it's handed off to Sherlag, and he breaks it through on the other side, and he is rumbling. He's a load down there, 20 yards downfield before he's brought down. And that was the blocking back in the backfield, and this time they handed it off to him. A nice counter play.
Always keep the defense honest. We've seen a lot of formations, like especially earlier today we saw the wishbone. Every once in a while give it back to the fullback just to keep him happy.
Absolutely, and that's just exactly what they did. Is also Brooks, the quarterback, was in the shotgun formation, and he handed the ball off to Sherlag, off to his left on a counter play, and he picked up big yards. It's going to be 1st down and goal to go at the 9-yard line. There, Orioles have a 20-6 lead here in the second quarter of action, and this time the up back is Sherlag. There's flags on the field as he is rumbled and stumbled down to the 2-yard line, and we're going to wait to see what the officials saw.
I think they were pointing towards Garden City, but I'm not sure.
Looks like the call is offsides on Garden City. I'm sure this will probably be declined. And that'll bring up 2nd down and goal from about the 2-yard line. Still talking it over, giving them their options.
9:50 left here in the second quarter here. GCYAA football. The Cougars on defense right now trying to stop the Orioles. There's actually 4 Livonia teams in this league. There's the Orioles and I'm going to see if I can get Blue Jays, Eagles, and Falcons.
Okay, so they're taking the penalty. That brings the 1st down and 4 at the 4-yard line. And also Brooks is now under center as he hands it to the up back, and this is Sherlag, and he gets into the end zone for a 4-yard run by Jacob Sherlag.
I think they decided the Sherlag was going to get it because he's got the last 3 handoffs, and after that nice run he made up the middle, he deserved to get the touchdown.
Well, he is coming in. Sherlag is he's a 123-pounder, Ted. So he's once he gets a nice head of steam going, he is quite the load. Looks like they're going to try and kick for the 2-point conversion. It is 2 points for a kick. Also, Brooks is converted on 1 out of 3 so far. High snap, and this one's going to be having to run it in.
That's Schmidt.
Schmidt takes the high snap and runs in the extra point, Ted, as, just quickly had to make a quick decision, reeled it in as the first order of business, and then...
Here's the touchdown, Phil. You'll see just a power right up the gut, and they scored. When Schmidt caught that ball, and he looked and he stood up, he never turned on the bat. He knew he was in the end zone. He looked, he saw a clear path, and you could call it sauntering or loped, but he was never challenged to getting in on that 2 points. And as soon as he stood up, he saw that he was in the end zone.
And that's going to put the Magic lead into play right now. Is going to sit out about 7 or 8 players for Livonia, as they will be kicking off to Garden City here with 9:46 left in the second quarter. Garden City now trailing 27-6.
Brandon Oakey is going to kick off.
This time it's handled by Garden City, and nice job of picking it up and trying to find some running room, and he's still on his feet, and he's going to be dragged. No, this play is still live, Ted, and comes back up the center, and I think all total he gained about 20 yards, or ran for 20 yards, but actually lost 2 on the play.
I think it was at 11, Nick Zuby.
16. Dustin Frazee.
Sometimes the coach is on the sidelines just yelling, "Get down, get down."
Well, he didn't want to go down. He did a nice job, but then ultimately he ran right back into the strength of the Orioles, the return team. Brought down, so 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Garden City takes over. 9:32 here in the second quarter, and calling the signals is going to be Hunter Waynick.
Let's see if they can do something wonderful. They scored the last time they had the ball.
And there's going to be a timeout by the Orioles. Orioles are coached by Matt Fournier. You would know Matt, wouldn't you, Ted?
Vaguely.
And of course, we've called the other Cal Fournier, number 4. He's out on the field right now, and he caught a 15-yard touchdown pass.
They're in line to the succession to my throne.
The Fournier family throne lives on. Livonia Orioles. And of course, a staple at any time, they just do a great job of entertaining the fans. Here's the chicken dance now. Look
at the cheerleaders there. You can't say enough about these young ladies, too. These young ladies start the same day the football players start, and they practice just as many hours as the football squad does, and they have a competition coming up, I think, at the end of October. And this Garden City squads did very well in the league competitions last year. They won a championship or 2 and finished 2nd or 3rd in Palm in a couple divisions. So these young ladies work very, very hard all year long.
Yeah, and they're like the mailman. Rain, sleet, snow, dark of night, they're going to do their cheers. Garden City with the ball, handoff to Ladasic as that was that counter play that they were successful at before. There's going to be a flag on the field. They're going to let this sort itself out, but once again, the counter play as Ladasic came in motion, and he took the handoff from Waynick, tried to find some running room on the right side, and holding is going to be the call against Garden City, and that's going to back them up a big 10 yards, Ted.
Anil Mahovic made the tackle, big number 68, 125 pounds of energy, just came barreling and brought the ball carrier down.
So that's going to bring up 1st down and 20 as that put the ball at the 31-yard line. Garden City scored on their last time with the ball. It was a 66-yard run by Jeremy Fuchs.
Basically the same position they were in right now. And they caught the Orioles in a blitz as they were bringing the middle linebacker. And they made them pay for that blitz.
It's going to be an I formation with two receivers split to the top of the screen. Waynick calling the signals, going back to pass, and he finds an open receiver, and the ball is on the ground, Ted, and it's going to be recovered by the Orioles. We had to wait to see if it was going to be out of bounds, but it was recovered by the Orioles as the Garden City Cougars got the completed pass play, and he turned upfield, and the ball was poked out, and it's going to go over to the Orioles.
You'll see it. The play starts out, and the quarterback, he eludes one. He steps inside. Nice play. It's complete, but he had that ball hanging out like a loaf of bread, and you got to bring that ball inside to your body and protect it. But the arm was extended away from the body with one hand, and like we keep telling you, the ball's wet, the field's wet, and it's hard to hold on to on that.
Well, and what I saw in that play, too, was a nice arm shown by Hunter Waynick. Once again, he had the ball up high, but then once he settled himself, he threw a nice little bullet out there in the flat, and it was a completed pass. Just once again, the ball wasn't reeled in. We have Doppler Tom down there telling us about the weather conditions as we're up here in Club Med, where we're located, so we're kind of immune to what's going on down there in the field, but things could get a little dicey.
Well, we have a window or two open. It's not exactly 75 degrees up here in the press box. We have a few little discomforts.
Well, that should give us the ambience of the crowd and give us the feeling of the game itself. So Garden City will be on the defensive end as Livonia takes over at the 42-yard line. And Livonia has pretty much had their way. They have their 8 players off because they have a 21-point lead. So we're going to see the quarterback is going to be number 23. Looks like Bryce Dix. He's under center in an I formation for the Orioles. Hand off to the up back, and he is stacked up for no gain right at the line of scrimmage as the big boys in the center of that line for the Garden City Cougars had their way with the running back.
Number 4, California on the carry.
And California showing double duty today as he caught a 15-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter, and then now running back. And he looks like he's the back man in the I formation. Bryce Dix, number 23, calling the signals. There's the handoff to Fournier, and he finds some running room up the center. Picks up about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down and a long 7. 3rd and 7 for the Orioles. They have that 27-6 lead over Garden City.
McMaster on the tackle. Hard yardage between the guard and the tackle there, but that's what football's all about.
Yeah, a lot of times those are the setup plays, Ted. You try to bring in the defense, you try to soften them up a little bit in the underbelly, if you will, then hit them for something on the outside. Fournier, number 4, the deep back in the I formation. Bryce Dix, number 23, calling the signals for the Orioles. Takes the handoff, hands off to Fournier. Fournier does a jump step off to the side, trying to get some head of steam going, and he's brought down, but about a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up 4th down and about 3 or 4 on the play. Nice move there by Fournier as he jump stepped over to try and find that number 5 hole over there, if you would, Ted, and just was unable to really break anything loose, but did pick up a few yards.
Well, tough yards. They've got 6 to go. They've picked up 4 here on it's 4th down, and you're not going to see a lot of punting here.
Bryce Dix, the quarterback. I formation is the continued formation for the Orioles. Deep back is Fournier with his orange shoes. And he's going to take the outside pitch, looking for running room. Stops, slides a little bit, and then is brought down for a loss on the play, and the ball will go over on downs to Garden City as number 11 for Garden City, Nick Zuby, held his position, and Fournier lost his footing right there, Ted. And you've talked about that before. His feet just slid right out from underneath of him.
This is not a field where you can stop, because as soon as you stop to try, basically you wanted to stop, let watch the defender. You were trying to get the defender to slide by, but he stops, and that's where he's in trouble. See, there his foot slides, and he's not going to get his footing back, and that's the turf.
And that was actually Jeremy Fuchs that held his position right there and made a leg tackle on Fournier. But Fournier had a nice head of steam heading that way as he was looking to turn that ball north and south, and that's when his footing came out from underneath of him. Garden City taking over on downs here in the second quarter of action. Counter handoff.
There you go.
Fuchs again, and he's finding that running room, and he's got the extra burst of speed, Ted, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. Jeremy Fuchs. Second huge touchdown run, and there are no flags on the field. That one's going to stand up. He went 66 yards the first time, and this one right here is going to be 62 yards on the same play.
Basically, he got to the line, and once you saw him go through the line from up here, you saw there was nobody's going to get him. So he's got 100 yards and 2 carries.
Wow. Nice play. That's a 66-yard run, and then he comes back with a 62-yard run, all here in the second quarter of action, as that puts Garden City on the board with their second touchdown. They're going to go for the extra point to try and get that 13 up there, as it's been a high-scoring game here in the first half, 27-12, with Garden City trying to add to that. Hunter Wayneck calling the signals. I formation in the backfield, 2 receivers split to the top of the screen. Wayneck throws it, lofts it into the end zone, over the outstretched arms. It looks like Fuchs.
Watch this here. Fuchs goes through the line, and right here he's gone. Right there was nobody there. There's a couple people chasing him, but he's too fast. And once he got through the line, there was nothing but he had plenty of time to decide what his dance was going to be when he got in the end zone.
Well, we've seen 2 great running backs here, one for the Orioles in the line of Schmidt, and now this one for Fuchs, because when these boys got out there and they could see that goal line, boy, they had that extra burst of speed that they were able to put on and finish the play in the end zone.
You're 100% correct. We actually, you can see the change of speeds. You can see where he drops it into fifth, and he's gone.
The turbo kicked in right about the 45-yard line, so then at 55 yards, he just outran everybody, and we've seen that twice out of Jeremy Fuchs, number 25. So Garden City is going to kick off here in 6 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the second quarter. The extra point attempt failed on the pass, a nice pass by Wayneck. He's just a little one, that Wayneck is, but boy, he's got a big arm, Ted. I've been very impressed with Hunter Wayneck's arm. Nice tight spiral he has.
Looks like David McDaniel's kicking off, number 21.
They're setting up a play to the left side, and it's and that ball is hopping around. You said it's a live ball. It's gathered in by the Orioles as he's heading to the outside. Parker, and he's grabbed and spun around by number 45. That was Nathan Ramos. Did
a little do-si-do. Parker did a 360 and finally got tackled.
Well, and the good thing about Ramos is what he did is you get a hold of the guy and don't let go, and then he was able to slow him down and allow the other Garden City tacklers to come in and finish him off. Orioles will take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And they have all their players back in, so that's going to bring in Drew Alsobrooks at quarterback, and probably going to bring number 21 Schmidt back into the game. See that 27-12 score. Livonia Orioles put 20 up in the first quarter and then added another one here in the second. Also Brooks hands off, and this one's to back. Schmidt, more than likely, number 21. He'll pick up about 3. Hard running up the center on that Garden City defense. The Garden City defense in the center, Ted, has been very stout this afternoon.
Logan McMaster, number 4, is one of the tacklers.
Most of the success for the Orioles has come on the outside. And then the one pass play to California, number 4. Also Brooks, number 11, underneath the center. Lone back. Pitches out to Schmidt as he comes from the wing position, and he finds some running room as he makes a nice cut back in and finds a nice hole and gets first down yardage into Garden City territory.
In that play, they were, it might have been a setup play. They give it to Schmidt. Fournier goes in motion like he's going for a reverse, but Schmidt kept it and went through the line, picked up the first down. Let's look for that reverse later on in this offensive series.
It's been a very successful play with bringing Schmidt in from a wing position, Ted, or in a slot position, if you will, as also Brooks is under center, I formation behind him, hand up to the Sherlag.
Sherlag picked up another 11 yards. Should be a first down.
And in a formation like that, that's like a quick hitter. When that fullback takes off like that, it can be a very devastating play. He can have a nice head of steam before he's back actually in the backfield of the Garden City Cougar defense.
Well, they haven't. You know, they run Schmidt, so all your defenders are watching Schmidt. And while they're watching him, Sherlag goes by him before they even know he has the ball.
Absolutely, and Schmidt has come from a variety of positions. He's lined up behind also Brooks, and he's lined up in the slot for position. Right now he's in the slot position. Also Brooks is in the shotgun. Sherlag's on one side. 13,
Parker.
This is Parker with the ball, and he's got running room on the outside, and he's got big gainer, and he cuts it back in, gets past. That was past Ladisic and then brought down at about the 3-yard line. Big play as Parker took the handoff from the inside and then broke it on free on the outside, and that's going to put them in scoring position now. 1st and 10 at the 4-yard line.
Now, when you gain that many yards, I always thought as a defensive player that, they let Parker, he got 20 yards, give him the ball again. So I'm looking for and see if they call his number again.
Okay, we're going to watch for Parker as also Brooks goes under center, I formation. Schmidt the deep back, Sherlag the up back. Also Brooks is trying an option play, and he's wrapped up and dropped down for a gain of about 1 yard.
We have had 6 touchdowns so far, and we're still in the second quarter, and we've got 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. This has been... I'm not sure if they unloaded the defense off the buses this morning.
Well, both teams have been finding some big plays here, and some have scored for the Livonia, and other times it's just got them down knocking on the door like they are right now after a couple of big runs. I formation, also Brooks the quarterback, Schmidt the deep back, number 21. This is handed to Sherlag, and he walks into the end zone with the 7th touchdown of the day.
And the next Garden City player to touch him will be the first one to touch him on that play, because he could have stopped, picked up his grandmother, and did some shopping and go in there. There was nobody around him. He still isn't touched.
And I think you called it just right, because Schmidt has been the go-to guy, and you got to really pay attention to him. He is a devastating back, and then those quick hitters are just really getting big yardage.
You're looking at the back guy. I'm going to stop him. And as your eyes are on the tailback, all of a sudden the fullback is 2 yards behind you.
Well, the extra point is missed, and that's going to bring us to a 33-12 score with 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the second quarter. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier as we're in JV action, and this is a very high-scoring affair. 33-12 is the Livonia Orioles out in front, and Garden City's had a couple of nice plays, so they like to feel like they're not out of this one yet, Ted.
Well, we could get 60 points here, Phil. I'm not sure. Were you with us one time? We did a game years ago. I think we were in Hillsdale. I'm not sure if you were with us. We scored over 100 points in a high school football game, and I'm still writing down notes from that.
Okay, kicking off is going to be number 5 for Livonia. That is Brendan Oakey, and he kicks it to and the ball is just smothered right there.
You know, I am totally in favor of this kind of football because usually you have your burners way back on the 20 and the 10-yard line, and you kick the ball. Here we go. Okay, we're going to take a break for a short notice here.
Food services for the crew and volunteers of Omni Edition Television and GCTV are provided by the Honey Baked Ham Company. Visit their new location at 42452 Cherry Hill Road in Canton. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's much more than that delicious ham. They also have lunch served all day and ready-to-serve dinners. And don't forget the Honey Baked Ham Company for the holidays. Again, visit them at their new location in Canton. Or check out their website at honeybaked.com. That's the Honey Baked Ham Company.
Now that they got me all hungry there, Phil, we got to...
The honey baked ham, you know, there's nothing better. And we missed while we were away with that one. Hunter Waynick completed a 1-yard pass, and so it'll be 2nd down and 9. Waynick hands the ball off in big yardage by number 21, McDaniel.
He was actually tackled about with 8 yards at the 8-yard line, and we're going to see a replay of this completed pass. It was for 1 yard. Nice over-the-shoulder catch.
And that's Ladasic, the sometime quarterback. So between Waynick and Ladasic, they hooked up right there. Real nice pass by Hunter Waynick. That kid has a very nice arm. Nice tight spiral and really reeled it in nicely, did Jacob Ladasic.
3rd down on the 44-yard line. Actually, they gave him a first down.
Yeah, they gave him the first down, so it's going to be 1st and 10, 2:22 left here in the second quarter. Time is winding down. Garden City with the ball. They're trailing in this one to the Orioles. Ball handed off and off to the right side. Picking up about 4 yards is going to be number 21, I believe. McDaniel. I'd like to give credit where credit is due to each one of these fine young players here. One day their goal is to be playing on Friday nights, Ted.
Friday nights. Rainy Friday night last night. I was up here at watching the Cougars as the Cougars hosted Thurston. Didn't have too much success, and you were on the island, Grosse Ile Airport, in a war down there.
Absolutely. Runner in motion. The ball's handed off in the inside, coming back to it, and spinning ahead for about 3 yards.
Well, the Cougars are in 4-down territory. They're gonna just keep pounding it down. They're at 3rd and 4 here.
Nice misdirection right there as Frazee took the handoff from Waynick and tried to cut it inside. That's that touchdown play that Fuchs has done, 66 and 62 yards worth.
And now time is becoming a factor. There's less than a minute here to go here in this first half.
3rd and 4, Waynick under center. Man in motion, he hands it back, number 11, finding running room to the outside. Ted, he's got his eye on the end zone. It's going to be a race, and they're not going to catch him as Nick Zuby goes all the way to the house from the 38-yard line with time running down here in the first half.
A big score. It's Garden City's way of saying you may be ahead of us, but we're not out of it yet. They've had 2 long touchdowns to the left side of the formation, and that time they ran to the right side and with equal success, and so now it's 33-18 with Garden City hanging in there.
Absolutely, and he took that as a counter play right there. We've seen that successful to the left side. This time he went to the right side, and one of the themes that we're seeing is once these players seem to get that eye on the end zone, boy, they are hard to bring down.
Well, they get outside of the containment, and once they get outside of containment, the only person that has a shot at him is the safety. And boy, there's just a rugby scrum, and I think Garden City shoved him over.
That's Waynick.
Here's your touchdown, Phil. Watch Zuby get the ball, go outside of containment, and right about here, I think you called it as a touchdown, as the safety could not get over there and haul him down.
Well, in number 84, that was Nico Thrushman, and he looked like he had the angle on him, but then he was just a step too much. He saw that end zone, and Nick Zuby just really went for it in a 38-yard run. As 42 seconds are remaining on the clock here in the first half, Garden City is struck with 3 touchdowns here in the second quarter, but they still trail 33-19 as the extra point. Actually, Waynick was carried into the end zone.
Basically, the call is, Waynick, we're going to give you the ball, and then all the linemen, we're going to shove you over. Just keep your feet moving. We'll get you over.
So Joseph Schmidt, number 21 in the deep formation for the Orioles. And if any one thing that hopefully Garden City has learned, and that's to keep the ball away from him in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Joe has basically taken the second quarter off. It's the fullback that's been Sherlock. He's been the go-to guy. He's got 2 touchdowns. You saw a quick picture of Joe. And I think number 21 over there, McDaniel's giving out orders.
Okay, kicking off with 42 seconds to go. McDaniel gets a nice foot into it, and this goes right to Schmidt. A nice big bounce as he reels it in. Then over the 40, over to the 50-yard line, and he's going to be brought down into Garden City territory at about the 44-yard line. And with 35 seconds to go, right now at this point, what do you think that the Orioles are going to do? We've had a wide open first half.
Well, if I know my son, he's going to throw the ball. But maybe he's mellowed in his middle age.
So they're going to still look for touchdowns, is what Ted Fournier says, that his son, Matt Fournier, one of the co-coaches for the Orioles. And number 4.
Well, we got a problem here, Phil. The Orioles are ready to go, and the Cougar defense is walking out the field.
I would think that you could use one of your timeouts for that situation.
The Orioles came to the line, and they looked, and there was nothing between them and the end zone. The Cougars are saying, hey, we ain't ready. All right, we're going to take we've got an opportunity to tell you another one of our great sponsors, so we'll take a break here.
KFC in Garden City is a sponsor of OmniDition Sports and GCTV, and one of the providers of food services for the crew and volunteers for tonight's game. Garden City's KFC is located on Ford and Harrison and is owned by Garden City residents Dan and Paul Bogowski. Featuring all of the Colonel's great menu items, including original recipe, extra crispy, and grilled chicken, crispy strips, sandwiches, chicken pot pie, those famous sides, and more. So stop by Garden City's KFC on the corner of Ford and Harrison and tell them that you heard about them on OmniDition Sports.
And we're back.
And the handoff went from also Brooks to Parker as they found the left side to their liking, and they picked up a first down. 27 seconds to go here in the first half. Livonia Orioles come in here, and they have a commanding 33-19 lead, and that's right, we're in the first half.
The ball's on the 33-yard line.
Also Brooks in the shotgun. This is going to be the handoff to Schmidt. Schmidt kind of looking for a running room. Finds it. Nice, sure tackle down there by number 25. That's Jeremy Fuchs.
Fuchs is having a nice game today on both sides of the ball. He's going 100 yards rushing, and he's made some nice tackles defensively. And the Orioles are taking a timeout here with 7.6 on the clock. And let's see what magic Knut Fournier's got going over there.
Well, it's always a learning experience when you're at this level right here. So I would think that they would probably pull one of their razzle-dazzle plays out personally.
And I'll let you know if I taught them that play after. There you see the wind blowing and the Cougar flag under the American flag. And a great football weather. We want to thank our crew for coming out here and bearing the elements here. The little bit of rain and a little bit of we haven't had any hail or lightning or tornadoes, maybe Tom can stir us some up at halftime.
I think we need to go back to Tom, at the beginning of the third quarter so we can get an idea what to expect for that second half, as this should be the last play of the first half. Livonia up 33-19. There's 7.6 seconds to go. Drew also Brooks is the quarterback. He's going to be in the shotgun formation, and he has his running mate right next to him is Sherlag, number 57.
No, I don't know what
Jacob Sherlag is on the right. At the bottom of the screen is Potter, number 13, and at the top is number 12. Also Brooks throws deep, and it is trying to come over the back of the defender was Parker. Nice left-handed pass by also Brooks, so that took 2.6 seconds off the clock. There will be another play as this first half continues on, Ted.
Well, you get as many plays out of it as you can.
Brings up third down, 4 to go. Ball's at the 26-yard line.
That was Fuchs breaking up that play. Fuchs had the inside position, and the Parker had to go over him. I think we might see the same play here.
Also Brooks from the shotgun. The left-hander throws it deep down the center of the field to Schmidt. Schmidt bounced off of his hands in a crowd of people, and the ball falls harmlessly into the end zone. And that is the last play of the first half, as the Livonia Orioles will go trotting off into their corner, and Garden City goes to their corner. Garden City trailing 33-19. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier, and we'll be back for second half action in just a few moments.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
So take these words and sing out loud, 'cause everyone is forgiven now, 'cause tonight's the night the world begins again.
Welcome back to Garden City High School, where today, GCYAA football, the junior varsity Cougars hosting the Livonia Orioles. It's 33-14. We had, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns in the first half. There was plenty of action, long runs, few passes, and the Livonia Orioles have jumped out to a big lead here. Ted Fournier along with Phil Henry. We're about ready to start the second half, and as fate would have it, the Cougars have to give the ball back up to the Livonia Orioles.
Yeah, that's the part that's just not fair. You're trailing 33-19 here to start the second half, and you've got to kick the ball away, but that's the rules of the game. And here we go. We're underway in the second half of action, and the ball is kicked, and it's a bouncing one, and is caught by Sherlag. Reeled it in, and he's dropped it about the 44-yard line. So the Orioles will take over 1st and 10, and they have a 33-19 lead. And it was a pretty exciting first half, Ted. Lots of variety of touchdowns. Garden City had some couple of long runs. We had some passing plays. And this second half probably is going to be just as exciting as the first half. Don't go anywhere.
This is game 3 of the Omni Edition long sports weekend here in Garden City. As your Omni Edition Sports have brought you a soccer game, a high school football game, and today we're bringing you 2 GCYAA football games.
Also Brooks, the quarterback, continuing on as he hands off to the up back Sherlag, and Sherlag will get to about the 50-yard line, and that will bring up a second down and about 6 to go, as the ball is going to be spotted just right around the 50. And Livonia has gone with Drew, also Brooks at quarterback. Their running backs been in the end zone 2 times. Joseph Schmidt on 2 runs, and also Sherlag has been in the end zone 2 times on 2 short runs.
The Orioles have really started giving the ball to Sherlag a lot. He's gained a lot of yardage, just right between the center and the 2 guards.
He'll be the up back in the eye, number 57, Sherlag. And the deep back is Schmidt. Schmidt takes the ball on the pitch. He's finding room on the outside, evades 1 tackler, cuts it up front. He's finding some dancing around the sideline, and he's going to be brought down at about the 28-yard line after a gain of 22 yards, Ted. As he picked his way niftily down that far sideline from us. He is one terrific running back, Joseph Schmidt.
You really like how he sets up would-be tacklers. He has different change of speeds, and he'll accelerate, slow down, accelerate it, and you almost get the feeling that Schmidt is surprised when he's tackled. It's like, they got me this time. He's almost got that kind of attitude.
He does. He has like a gliding style. He evaded number 45, Ramos, in the backfield, and then once he got past Ramos, it was 22 yards. 1st and 10. Drew also Brooks under the center. Pitches out, fake reverse. This is Schmidt coming back the other way. He finds the running room, cuts it up inside, and he's heading to pay dirt, Ted, and he is going to find the corner of the end zone. Pushed out, and it's going to be a touchdown. That was Ladasic for Jacob Ladasic. Tried to cut the angle on him, Ted, and he just couldn't do it as he stopped and dove through the pylon, and he's going to have a looks like about a 28-yard touchdown run, does Joseph Schmidt.
It's really kind of fun to watch him up from here. You saw 2 Cougar defenders go at Schmidt. He split those defenders. As soon as he did that, the safety kind of had this look like, oops, I thought you guys were going to tackle him. And he beat the safety into the corner of the end zone.
We've seen that time and time again. When they get to the outside like that, these guys have another gear when they see that end zone, as the kick for the 2-point conversion is no good, falls short. And here it is, Ted.
Watch the touchdown here. You'll see 2 defenders. Schmidt's got the ball, and he's 2 defenders right here. He gets past them, and he's into the end zone.
Well, that was actually a very nice play by Ladasic as he tried to cut the angle on him, and that's what you needed to do. But then Schmidt just stopped, held the ball up, wherewithal for, the 11-year-old, and dove over for the touchdown, and that makes the score 39-19.
That's a 20-point deficit, and the top 8 players of the Orioles will head out to be marooned on Gilligan's Island down there around the 20-yard line, as the second team of the Orioles will now be doing most of the playing. And there you see it. Those guys are marooned. And I've always wondered, when you're down there and you're thinking about, I want to get back in the game, do they start rooting for the blue team?
Well, right now, I think they would be content to say that their day's work is done, as the kickoff is taken at the 45-yard line and brought right down at about the 47-yard line. So Garden City will go into business here in the first time in the second half. And that was number 16 for Garden City, Dustin Frazee.
Frazee, it looked like everybody on the Garden City team had hesitated instead of going after the ball, and Frazee finally took charge and jumped on it. But remember, once that ball leaves the tee, it's a free ball, and somebody on the blue team has to take charge and go get the ball.
Yeah, Brandon Oakey kicked that one right over the front line of the coverage. So 1st and 10 is Hunter Waynick is going to be calling the signals for Garden City in the split formation. Runner in motion, and it's handed to the deep back, and he is finding some running room up to about the 50-yard line if he can fall forward.
Stood him up. Nice quick hitter.
That was McDaniel, number 21, as he was the deep back for Garden City. They brought a man in motion that fooled absolutely nobody. Handed off to McDaniel, and he fell forward, picked up about 2, 2nd down and 8. The ball is resting at the 49-yard line. Garden City's had some success against the second unit of the Orioles, Ted. So
they've had 3 nice long runs. One is 66 yards, one is 62 yards, and I think the other one was, 20, 25 yards?
Yeah, 38 yards.
38 yards.
And there's that counter play as this is Fuchs, and he this time is finding the rough going, and he will get just about maybe a half yard on that particular play, but that's been the one that's busted off for big gains, and this time the Orioles have made an adjustment at halftime, and they stopped Fuchs for little or no gain, bringing up 3rd down.
Nico Thrushman, number 84 for the Orioles on the tackle there. Nice grabbed a hold of him and spun him down, and it's going to be 3rd down and a long 8 as the Cougars need to get something going here early in the 3rd quarter. 9:13 on the clock and ticking.
Hunter Waynick started the second half at quarterback. He continues to be there under center. This handoff is to Jacob Ledasic, and Ledasic dances his way up to the line of scrimmage, trying to get north and south, gets over into Oriole territory before he's brought down, and that's going to bring up 4th down and a long 4 yards to go.
Running out of the veer, coming out of the left wing, across the formation. I've never really liked that formation because it always seemed to me the first 5 steps in that formation are left and right instead of north and south.
Well, exactly, and then it's when to turn north and south, and I thought Ledasic did a nice job right there as he tried to get his shoulder squared up with the line of scrimmage and was able to get a couple of yards. 4th down, Waynick back to pass. He looks back the other way, and he's got an open man, and he puts the ball in the outside, and he's going to run for 1st down yardage and then some, and he's got an eye on the end zone, and he stumbles a little bit. He picks up a block, and all the way in for the touchdown is going to be Nathan Ramos. Ramos on a 47-yarder from Waynick.
Nathan Ramos, once he caught the ball, he went past the first wave of defenders. He looked at the end zone and said, whoa, it's a long way over there. He stumbled and bumbled and did everything but a flip-flop, but he made it in the end zone. The odds were 50-50 that he was going to fall. But he made it to the end zone. Great job, Nathan.
Nathan Ramos, and that was a play that we had seen earlier in the game, Ted, as they went for, it's almost a lateral pretty much, it's, basically sideways, and Waynick did a nice job delivering the ball. Ramos turned it upfield and was able to outrun the last defender about from the 20-yard line on down. Like you said, he stumbled. Now they're going for the extra point conversion. We've seen this before as Waynick trying to run it up the middle, called his own number, and he is going to be brought down short. So that'll put 6 points on the board.
Here's the touchdown, Phil, and as you call it, here he comes. He's all open, and right about here, the grass gets him.
He picks up a nice block by Ledasic right at the end right there. He didn't need it, Ted, but it's still real important fundamental-wise to see that happen.
Well, we've got 64 points on the board between these two teams.
39-25, and we're in the 3rd quarter, early in the 3rd quarter, 8 minutes to go. This has been one offensive game. Both teams landing big haymakers and every kind of rabbit punch you can imagine. Very entertaining football game. Stay with us. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier. We're bringing you JV action, and we got a varsity game after this one, Ted.
You see the cheerleaders, they got to do 25 leg kicks. Oriole cheerleaders over there doing jumping jacks after every touchdown. So both cheerleading squads will be in great shape after tonight.
You know what, don't osmosis, don't we get in shape just watching that?
We're not exercising much here, Phil.
Okay, kicking off here with 8 minutes to go will be Garden City as they just scored on a 47-yard touchdown pass. This ball is in bounds and nicely fallen on by the Oriole player as Bryce Dix thought it was going to go out of bounds, and then Garden City was closing in on that one, and he aptly fell on the ball to keep the possession for the Orioles.
Well, the starting 8 players for the Orioles have been rescued from Gilligan's Island again because the score is now 14-point difference.
39-25. That's not an error on your scoreboard. We are early in the 3rd quarter of this game.
We got 20 minutes to go.
Okay, coming up to the line of scrimmage are the Orioles. Drew also Brooks, the quarterback, is in the shotgun formation.
Nice left-handed passer, as we've seen today.
He's going to hand it off to Parker. Parker's had big yards as he gets to the outside. Chased down, he's missed tackle. Ladasic is zeroing in on him. He tries to cut inside of Ladasic, and Ladasic stays with him and runs him out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. And that's been a very successful play today for the Orioles, Ted.
About 37-yard gain on that play. Parker has done a great job, mainly on the same play.
Logan McMaster, number 4, had the first line on him right about the 35-yard line, and cutting inside of him right there was Logan McMaster, and then he just outran him. And there's Ladasic grabbing a hold of the jersey and then pushing him out of bounds.
Ladasic almost overran him and reached out at the last minute and grabbed the jersey. And by grabbing the jersey, it stopped his own momentum, and he had leverage to bring him down.
Shotgun formation, Schmidt and is handed off to Sherlag. Sherlag up the middle, and he bruises past the initial tackler, and he's going to rumble all the way into the end zone. A 27-yard run by Sherlag. Jacob Sherlag. It's been 27 yards. And that's his third touchdown on the day, Ted. He had two 4-yard runs back in the second quarter, and that puts 45 on the board as they're going to try to kick for a 2-point conversion. Also, Brooks is spotting the ball down about the 10-yard line, so it's a 20-yard attempt for 2 points.
So what do you have, the over and under at 93?
I'd like to see him try to kick these as they're faking it. Clearly a fake. Schmidt with the ball, and he's going to throw it to the end zone, and up and over the receiver was Parker, was the intended receiver down there. That was clearly a fake.
And here's the touchdown with Sherlock. Look at the hole he had. It was like he knocked 2 guys down, a human bowling ball, and he had a gaping hole, and he looked around and said, I guess I can stop here.
Well, he's 123 pounds on our, and that was before
that was
his last meal.
That was the weigh-in at the beginning of the year. You know,
when you get those legs pumping like that, and he's already in the defensive backfield, I mean, that's all you can do is to try and take his legs out from underneath of him. But he was just a little bit stronger than what the defender was, and overpowered him for a 27-yard run. So with the missed extra point, the score now is Livonia Orioles 45 and the Garden City Cougars 25, and Garden City will receive the ball, and that puts our out in the purgatory, or 8.
That one went exactly -1 yard. He kicked that off at the 40, and it wound up dying at the 39.
I was looking out into purgatory, and I missed that. I don't think you could do that if you tried.
No, that hurts his average.
That's one of those, yes. I want you to kick off and have it go back 1 yard. I don't think I can do that, Coach.
That ball actually hit around the 43 and had backward spin on it and wound up at the 39. They're going to give him a yard, so it actually is a 0 kickoff.
So taking over in Livonia territory, 1st and 10, and up underneath center is Jacob Ladasic. Ladasic, number 7, is alternated with number 10, Waynick, and he hands the ball off to number 21, McDaniel. McDaniel finding some running room to the outside, cuts it back up in a nice gain of about 5 yards.
McDaniel's had a nice game today, basically both sides of the ball, 21, a lot of tackle. He's kicked off. He's very good, heady game, made some nice tackles, and that time he gains 5 yards on first down.
You like to see that as he made his cut out there and then found a running lane and turned back his shoulders and picked up an extra couple of yards. That'll bring it 2nd down and 5 to go at the 35-yard line. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Ladasic under the center. Man in motion. Ball is handed off to McDaniel again. Once again, he breaks it to the outside, and he's got running room. He stops, gets another burst of speed as he's back beyond the first down marker and into deeper into Oriole territory. He's brought down at about the 22-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Garden City.
Very impressive run, and we've been talking about the other backs, but McDaniel did the same thing that day. Got as much yardage to the outside as he could, and then he stopped and cut it inside. And the one thing football players know, when you go inside, that's where everybody else is. You're going to get hit. You go inside, but he took it inside for another 7 yards.
Yes, he did. Showed some power right there as he turned his shoulders, and he did it all with his shoulders if you watched him navigate his way through. Runner in motion, handoff nearly bobbled and picked up and dropped off to the right side, a gain of about 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Garden City on the move. They're inside the 20-yard line. They're trailing 45-25. 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. I'm Phil Henry along with Ted Fournier.
Cheerleaders on the bottom here trying to get the crowd. It's a cooler day. And here in Michigan, we are not used to the temperatures under 60. We didn't have any winter last year, for one thing, and remember it turned 80 in March.
Right, so this is a terrific football day. I think our weatherman can get us back out there and let us know what's going on at any time. We've got weather Doppler Tom down there. Ledasic continuing at quarterback. In motion, hands off, keeps it, the fake handoff, keeps it himself as he rolls back and around, and he might get back to the line of scrimmage, Ted. They faked the handoff to McDaniel right there, and then Ledasic tried to roll in behind him and just couldn't find any blocking.
Lucas Dimitrusco on the tackle.
And that's going to bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 5, the ball at the 18-yard line. Jacob Ledasic continuing on at quarterback. He is alternated with Hunter Waynick.
Both teams having a lot of fun today, just scoring at will almost, and Garden City threatening now here in the 3rd quarter.
2 wideouts. The back is McDaniel, number 21, lone back. Ledasic's going to pass, and the ball is diving stab at it down there is Ramos, and he was unable to come up with it.
Ramos, he's kind of upset with himself because he thought if he came up with that diving catch, he'd make ESPN top 10 tomorrow morning.
I would have voted for that. That was a good-looking attempt right there. And that'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 5. Ball at the 18-yard line. Garden City trailing 45-25 to the Livonia Orioles. This is JV action.
10 and 11-year-olds. And, it's hard to believe that most of these 10 and 11-year-olds are in their 5th and 6th year of football when they start at flag football at 6 and 7, and then they play freshmen at 7 and 8.
And it's going to bring in Waynick, and he tries to hand off to the second back through, and that was Fuchs, and Fuchs was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That was that successful play that they've run earlier, Ted, and this time the Orioles had made some adjustments and stopped Fuchs before he could get started. So the ball will go over on downs to the Orioles at the 18 or 19-yard line.
You've got to give the quarterback a lot of credit on that play. Now, the ending wasn't good, but if you saw how he backed away from the center with the ball in his right hand, and as the back comes through him, he puts it in his left hand and hands it off. That's a real skill move. That's a lot of quarterbacks can't do that. I was really impressed with the way he had that handoff.
Yes, a little razzle-dazzle with handoffs, and it netted them nothing, but it's the effort that counts. Is the timeout is going to be called, I believe, by Garden City, and they're going to want to talk about it here with 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go.
Garden City this is the rest of their schedule. They have to play the Stallions, and that'll be a home game. And then after that, they hit the road. They go up to Wall Lake, the Gators. They go over to Bentley High School on 5 Mile to play the Blue Jays. And the Ravens, I can't tell you where they're from, but they play the Ravens. And they're 0-3 right now, probably going to go to 0-4 unless something wonderful happens. But there's a couple winnable games as you look down the road here, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more games to go.
Well, you sure like to win those home games, Ted. I mean, that's the ones that you kind of point to right here. And the Orioles definitely are having their way 45-25 today. But we got a lot of football left. 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the entire 4th quarter as Quarterback Drew Nix, number 23, files forward for a gain of about 1. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 to go. Ball is at the 21-yard line for Livonia. They just took over on downs as Garden City failed to convert a first down.
Well, Garden City has an opportunity here because the first team, they've been playing against the Oriole first team most of the game here. The Oriole first team is sitting over there in Gilligan's Island again, and this is basically the Oriole second team, so they have a great opportunity to stop them deep in Oriole territory.
Drew Nix, number 23, a quarterback. I formation. The deep back is Cal Fournier, number 4. Fournier tries to gets ball is juggled in there, and Fournier looked like he was going to take the handoff there, but I think Nix had a hard time with it, Ted. And
I don't think it got to him that time.
Yeah.
These Cougars here are directly learning football in the Garden City system. We also documented that the head coach for Garden City Cougars is Scott Murray, and he's overseeing this program. The kids for the Orioles are mostly going to go to Livonia Churchill.
Churchill having a tremendous season. I believe they're undefeated this year, Ted. They're 5-0.
Well, that's good for Churchill because if those of us have been in the area a while recall the 90s, and they were almost 0 for the 90s.
Yeah, things have changed over there. They beat a fine Grand Blanc team. I think they beat Canton this year. Canton was rated one of the top teams in the state, and Livonia Churchill beat them.
A lot of good football last night, and I know you saw a great game downriver.
Grosse Ile and Carlton Airport. The Grosse Ile pulled that one out ahead of homecoming last night. Taylor Truman was undefeated against Wyandotte, undefeated, and Wyandotte took them to task on Truman's home field.
Wyandotte has had a good game. The team that I'm really perplexed about is good old Ellen Park is just not winning like they used to.
Yeah, they had a machine back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and they've fallen on hard times as Cal Fournier takes the handoff, the pitch back, and this one's going to be a big loss. It's going to bring up a transfer of downs is what's going to happen here, Ted, as we got talking about Friday Night Lights, and we just had a transfer of downs as the Cougars are going to take over the ball at the 10-yard line.
Well, what you saw there is the second team for the Orioles are not able to move against this Cougar defense. California took the high pitch, and it looked like the defensive coach for the Cougars had called a team meeting. They said, wherever number 4 is, we're going to meet there. And they had a team meeting there, right there where Cal got the pitch. So.
And Cal did a great job just to hold on to that one right there. So the ball.
He certainly did.
You know, as the team meeting converged on him.
Let's see if the Cougars can punch it in now. They got great field position. What are they at the 11-yard line? And they got a first down.
It looks like they're going with the jumbo package in the back there. A new backmate is in as Hunter Waynick is under center to call signals. And this is handed off to number 66 by the looks of it. We think is Nicholas Painter.
Well, they're giving it to Richardson, 59. Cameron Richardson.
Number 59.
And he got inside the 10. And now here's one of those situations where you got wholesale substitution. There's actually a coach on each sideline that charts the plays and makes sure that each kid gets, I think it's a minimum of 5 plays per half. So it's a very good developmental league, and obviously the stars play and they get their touches, but everybody on both teams gets an opportunity to participate.
And that play goes for a gain of about 2, and and this one is handled by McDaniel. The ball was handed off to him by Waynick, and McDaniel ripped up and falls forward to the 1-yard line. So now there's going to be 1st and goal, as that was the only spot they could pick up a first down, Ted. That's where they got it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And McDaniel, I thought he was going to make the end zone, but somebody tripped him up, and he tried to maintain his balance, but there's another great play that he has had this afternoon, and that young man will sleep well tonight because he's played well on both sides of the ball.
Time running out here in the third quarter. First and goal. Does Garden City have the ball? Hunter Waynick under center. In this I formation, deep back is Ladasic, and he's going to take the handoff and meets a whole host of Orioles right there as he's going to fall forward for a touchdown. And so with 34 seconds here to go in the third quarter, it is now another 6 points on the board for Garden City.
76 points in this game, and it's been all, I think we've had 2 defensive stops, maybe 3. Otherwise, and it's been got the ball, score.
Well, in this case right here, we have to give Garden City the credit where credit is due. They drove the ball down, had to give it up to downs to the Livonia Orioles, and then they were able to stop the Orioles on 4 plays and took over at the 11-yard line and have been able to power themselves in as Jacob Ladasic is now going to try for the extra point. Hands it off, and the deep back is stopped just short of the goal line, and that was number 4, McMaster.
Looks like number 90, Dylan Berlinger was hurt. Did they call it? Oh, here's the touchdown again, and you see
there's Ladasic right in there, and he squirted through. And did a nice job keeping his legs moving, Ted, as he met a whole host of Orioles right at the goal line and somehow squirted through all of that by just keeping his legs going in the low center of gravity and shot in for the 1-yard touchdown run. So with the 34 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and the score on the board, as you can see, the Livonia Orioles 45 and the Garden City Cougars 31. Garden City will kick off, and that brings the exiled players, the lonely 8, if you will, back into the ball game for the Orioles. And that's going to put number 21 deep, Joe Schmidt, to field this particular kickoff.
31 jumping jacks by the Garden City cheerleaders. They went from leg kicks to jumping jacks.
I don't blame them.
There's Mr. Schmidt.
And this ball is going to be kicked right to no man's land, and falling on it is Drew Nix. We saw him do that earlier, and fell on it right at the 30-yard line. So with 33 seconds to go here in the third quarter, the Livonia Orioles are going to go on the attack again, and they're going to have their full complement of players as the score is a 14-point difference.
That was a 30-yard kickoff, and that's a pretty good kickoff in this league.
Well, you like that too, because he took advantage of the football itself as it was rolling around right there, and then allows the the kick coverage team to get down there and possibly pounce on it for a nice recovery. It wasn't to happen as Nix jumped on it first.
I'm looking across the field, and all the umbrellas are down, so the rain must have stopped.
Jacob Sherlag, the up man in the back, and Schmidt, the deep man, and this is handed off to Sherlag, and he is met hard by number 41, Ryan Reed.
Ryan Reed, that's the first time they've stopped Sherlock in the backfield. And fullback are tough to stop in the backfield.
Well, he was absolutely waiting for him and stood him right up. And they've run that play many times, been very successful with it. As the time is going to click off here in the third quarter, Livonia is going to be changing directions. And at the end of the third quarter, the score was 33-19 at half. And so it was 12. Each team scored 2 touchdowns in that the third quarter, Ted, as Sherlag had a 27-yard run and Schmidt had a 28-yard run for Livonia. And then over on the other side, we had a 1-yard run by Waynick and then a 47-yard pass to Nathan Ramos from Waynick. Or Ladasic had a 1-yard run.
Incorporate Marketing is the official apparel provider of Omnidition Sports and GCTV. Located on Middle Belt Road just across from Garden City High School, Incorporate carries an incredible variety of Garden City Cougar apparel and swag. They also feature Garden City East and West gear and are your source for silk screening and embroidery. Owned by third-generation Garden City resident Jim Neve, Incorporate can help you design the perfect look for your company or event. Visit their website at incorporategraphics.com.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of this GCYAA football game. The Livonia Orioles have the ball, and Mr. Schmidt's on his horse again.
And Mr. Schmidt just got by Ladasic, but Ladasic's not giving up the chase, and then now some run to the end zone and a big block at the end, and Joseph Schmidt goes all the way for the score, and that one's going to rumble 71 yards.
That big block at the end, I hope we get to see that again. The referee took a long look at that, and that was one of those, it was a great block. But hey, I thought the referee was thinking about throwing the flag there, but he held it off. But Schmidt, he just took the ball and kept going.
Well, and you would like to see that, even though I don't think it was a necessary block at that point. I think Schmidt had the touchdown within his grasp, but still, you know, if you're coaching over in Livonia, you want to see that. You want to see your guys finishing the play regardless of what's going on. They're going to go for the extra point. As the first play of the fourth quarter is a 71-yard touchdown run by Joseph Schmidt as he took the ball off the left side and then sprinted into the end zone. And here's a double reverse, and there's action and stumbling forward. And number 4 is California, and nice effort right there, Ted, by California as he took the second pitch and almost made it in. And here it is. There's the nice pitch we said before. He catches him in stride, and then there was just a missed tackle out there. And now right here, he gets by Ladasic, and Ladasic, though, doesn't give up the chase. And that block
now watch for this block right here.
There. You know, and it looked like the Livonia Oriole player really sized him up and really waited until the last minute to get him.
He set him up for that.
But
I want to tell you something on that extra point. I was going to call that the ball was going to go to number 4, California. Knowing the young man as I do, he sprinted out of the huddle. Normally, he gets out to the huddle, he gets to his spot. But that time, he sprinted out of the huddle and kind of let me know that he was going to get the ball.
Well, and it was a double reverse for the extra point, and what happened is he took it high, and here's another unusual kick, and this ball is
I don't know why Garden City even fell on that one, because of they you know, that ball wasn't going to make 10 yards.
They're going to take over in Oriole territory, as we have 8 players sitting out for Livonia as they have a 20-point lead, 51-31, 11 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter.
You laughed at me when I said the over and under at 93. We're at 82 right now.
And 11 minutes and 40 seconds of action left. So taking over is going to be Garden City, and calling the signals, it looks like Hunter Waynick, number 10, coming in.
There is no rumor to the effect that last night they outlawed defense.
Well, we've seen some real tremendous individual efforts on some of these running backs, Ted, as they break into the open. They just have showed us a whole nother gear when they get their eye on that end zone.
I think Schmidt has 200 yards, and Fuchs might have 200 yards.
The counter play that works so well right here is off and running for number 11, Zuby, as Nick Zuby took the handoff on the counter play, Ted, and he found some running room off to the right side, and he picks up a first down, or wait a minute, it would be 9 yards, and it'll bring up second down.
Zuby has he has a touchdown today, doesn't he?
Zuby has a 38-yarder to his credit today. Waynick getting his signals, coming back in. Hunter Waynick shows a nice arm. He's been primarily the passing quarterback for the Garden City Cougars, sharing time with Jacob Ladasic. 2 receivers split out. Ball handed to the deep back.
First down.
McDaniel wraps the ball up nicely as he's brought down inside the 30-yard line to about the 29-yard line. Picks up the first down along the way.
If you love offensive football, you're going to love to watch this game. It's been back and forth on Livonia having a comfortable lead.
And we were 33-19 at halftime.
Well, the Braves and the Orioles are 2-1, and they have 4 more games. They play the Braves, the Stallions, and their last 2 games are inner city rivals, the Livonia Eagles and Livonia Franklin, the Falcons. Now the Falcons are perennial powers in this league, and they've won the league a lot, so that's always a big game for the Orioles, that last game against the Falcons.
Yes, they look like they might walk out of here with a victory. We have 10 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. One lone back, and this is going to hand off to Frazee, as Frazee is the man in motion, and he falls forward. Once again, like you said on that play, Ted, it starts running east and west, and then all of a sudden it's up to the running back to find that hole and turn it north and south, and he did and gathered in a yard.
I've argued with my son for 20 years, all the teams he's coached, the Veer offense, and I hate that offense, and he loves it. And Garden City's running some plays out of it, but I don't like any play where the offense goes to the left and the right, sideline to sideline, and then you got to find a hole, because I like to hit somebody, get a quick opener, and find a hole.
Well, absolutely, and it's up to the running back, too, to use his shoulders when he finds that hole to guide himself through with his shoulders. So that's kind of a key point of the running back, as this ball is handed off on the trap play, and he is trapped in the backfield as Waynick hands off to Ladisic, and Ladisic kind of stumbles forward a little bit after he's hit, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 as he was met at the line of scrimmage.
And what you're seeing here is the second team defense for the Orioles, and they have during the course of this game grown more intense, and they're offering more resistance here as the game goes on.
So here we are in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Time is running. This is the big 3rd down and 9 from the 29-yard line. Straight under center is Waynick, and he throws the ball. He finds a receiver. This is Ramos. Ramos picks it up, and he's going to go into the end zone. And a 29-yard pass play from Waynick to Ramos, and they were successful for 47 yards earlier today, Ted.
Well, Ramos has shown a great pair of hands. He caught that one over his head, and once he caught it, he was behind the secondary, and he scored. He also scored a little screen pass, or bubble screen, and but that one, right, he just broke through the secondary, and it's now 51-37.
And what I noticed right there was a crossing route. Waynick had him in stride, but Ramos actually, after he caught the ball, actually came to a stop and changed direction and then shot to the end zone. He was actually heading right to the defender for the Orioles, in a nice heads-up move by Ramos to reel that one in and then head to the end zone for the touchdown. Point after attempt right here with Waynick over the center, or under the center, we should say. Lone back. And he's back to pass, and he finds his man open and right in and out of the arms. It's like number 4 down there, McMaster.
Well, the trouble with that one, he tried to catch it with his arms. And you have to catch it. Watch the pass play here for the touchdown. You'll see the passes.
And right there's when he changed directions. He was heading right to the defender, and he changed directions on him. A nice heads-up play by Ramos. Number 1, to reel that ball in, Ted, and number 2, to change directions and get to the end zone.
I was impressed with the hands. I was really impressed with the hands there, Mr. Ramos.
Well, that's the first and most important thing at this level, is catch the ball. But you know what? Sometimes they hear those footsteps, because clearly the Oriole player, number 1, Ethan Labar, was lining him up.
Garden City is heading back on the field for this kickoff.
And it's not a misprint. It is the Livonia Orioles 51, Garden City 37, and we have 8 minutes and 28 seconds of action here in the fourth quarter of this JV football game, high-scoring JV football game. And you had, we are at 88, Ted. Your over and under was 93.
93.
You know, the next point is
I took the over.
Put you in the money.
Well, now I'm rooting for 100. Heck, we got 88. We need 2 touchdowns to hit 100.
David McDaniel getting ready to kick off for Garden City after their 27-yard touchdown score. And this ball is over, and this is going to draw a penalty.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Ball spotted at the 42-yard line. It's going to be decision time here for the Orioles. That ball barely got over the outstretched hand. Sometimes, when you're looking at a play like that, Ted, and you're the receiving team, you might want to let that thing go. I mean, he could have got a hand on that, and that could have created some havoc down there.
I think they're going to give the ball to the Orioles at the 42-yard line. And the first team is back in.
14-point difference, 51-37. The Livonia Orioles. And that's going to bring Drew also Brooks. Also Brooks behind the center. That's front man is Jacob Sherlag, and then the back man is Schmidt. Joseph Schmidt takes the handoff, tries to find some running room, breaks it to the outside, and now the sprint is on, and that is Fuchs down there. Nice tackle. The official goes over down at the far sideline also, as Jeremy Fuchs got an arm around Schmidt's waist and then just reeled him right on in, Ted. Terrific tackle.
I think the truck should mark the tape there. We need a copy of the referee going head over tea kettle there, and we want a bunch of copies. Make sure he gets a copy.
7 minutes, 51 seconds to go. Inside of Garden City territory are the Orioles. They're on the march. 2nd down and 1 to go.
That's another one of those things where Schmidt just broke it out over containment and headed out towards the sideline.
Quarterback sneak by also Brooks, and he's going to pick up the first down.
He's getting a lot of great blocking up front, and he just follows the hole, and he gets the first down.
Well, you know what you'd like to see on a play like that, the quarterback sneak, is you want to see the quarterback go up there and do it now.
Yeah.
We used to see Scott Mitchell played on Sundays. He would call out signals for a quarterback sneak. Are you sure you want me to do this? My mama doesn't want me to go.
Somebody might hit me.
The bad man might get me. As also Brooks now under center. 1st and 10. Hands off to Schmidt, the back man. Schmidt dances forward and gets about 2 yards to the 45-yard line. Schmidt there once again started to his right, Ted, and then cut abruptly back to his left, but just couldn't get any leg movement going as the middle of that defense for the Garden City Cougars was very stout.
The Orioles really don't need any more points, and you see right now they called that play. We're just in between the tackles, and you might see they just shut it down, see if they can get first downs in between the tackle. Because basically they could actually just run the clock out here.
Yeah, that'll keep the clock rolling as we're down to 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game, and they have a 14-point lead. And there's the pitch out to Schmidt, and this is where Schmidt's done his business today. And he turns and lowers his shoulder and his head and powers his way for looking seemingly another first down. It's right at the yard marker. He stays in bounds, but they do stop the clock to spot the ball. And that will bring up 3rd down as he's just short down there, Ted.
I wouldn't. We might have another quarterback sneak, or Sherlock might be getting a call here.
Yeah, it's Jacob Sherlag. Sherlag has had the end zone 3 times. Schmidt's been in there 4 times. Also Brooks to Fournier for the last touchdown, the 6th touchdown. And there's your quarterback sneak. Falls forward into about the 34-yard line, does also Brooks.
We're under the 6-minute mark, about 5:49. They stopped the clock to move the chains. But Orioles just content to keep the ball in between the tackles, get 3-4 plays to get a first down, and start taking some time off the clock.
Garden City has 3 timeouts remaining if they choose to use them. 2 timeouts remaining for Livonia. I'm Phil Henry. He's Ted Fournier. Orioles with a 51-37 lead with the football. They're at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Also Brooks under center. Hands off to Schmidt. Schmidt looking for running room on the left side. Bounces it back out further. Has it. Trying to turn the corner. He finds the corner, Ted, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds. Going to be very close down there. One referee is signaling touchdown. Nice job by Ladisic to try and force Schmidt out early, but he once again takes it from the 35-yard line all the way to pay dirt.
Joe Schmidt is just a natural running back, and you don't know how this is going to progress in his career. But in football, since I first seen him, he has just shown the propensity to have different speeds, have a burst, be a natural runner. He has natural running instincts, and those are things you can't teach. You just hope that through all the coaching he gets, that they refine him and he has a successful career through high school and maybe on the next level.
Absolutely, and it seems like what he also has is a great vision of the field, Ted. There's times he seems like he's gliding, if you will, but he's still moving forward, and then when he sees that opening, he's able to really kick in that extra burst as they're going for the point after touchdown, and this one is handed to Schmidt in the back, and there's that glide. No, excuse me, that is not Schmidt.
They snuck somebody in there, number 42.
Jacob Robertson.
And
here he is on the replay, and there's Schmidt right there gliding, then he dips in, and now right here is where he's got that extra burst of speed, right down the sideline. Ledisic does a great job forcing him out, and if we'd had a replay on that, I don't think that he actually got the ball in. He had the ball in his outside arm, Ted, and he was forced out right there, but you know what they say, close enough in horseshoes and hand grenades and the pylon in the end zone.
There's a couple other things, too. 58-37. Now, if you add that up, that's 95.
Well, where are you taking me tonight for your winnings, you know? Meet over at the Golden Feather, or how about get me some honey-baked ham or something from KFC?
You hit it right there. A big slab of ribs at the Golden Feather would be nice.
Get some roasted potatoes. I'm in for the potatoes. Yes. So Livonia will kick off with 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, and this has been an offensive show. 95 points have been put on the board by these two teams. They've scored in just about every way imaginable, and the kickoff doesn't make it to 10 yards, or it looks like now it does, and then Garden City aptly falls on the ball. Well, there's a dangerous way of handling that one, Ted. I mean, they've really got a nice kickoff right there. It kind of forces you to watch it, and then all of a sudden, the last second, it took a big bounce, and Garden City got lucky to recover.
Well, 58 points put up on the board by the Orioles here in an offensive showing. And guess what? We got another game to go here, Phil.
Well, we hope that the second game is just as exciting as this one. This has been a back-and-forth affair. Very few penalties have been in this game, and at least the penalties that have been called don't seem to have really led to any of the outcome differential.
Well-played game, pretty clean. A couple early in the game, the Orioles had a couple procedure calls, but other than that, it's been pretty clean.
I formation. Back is Wayneck, and he lofts a long bomb, and this one falls short in between two receivers. I think there's a little miscommunication out there between the receivers themselves. The actual best person in position was a Livonia Oriole to catch that one.
That was one of those throw it as far as you can and hope something in blue is underneath it.
Well, the two receivers are still jawing about what was going on there. They're not really sure who the receiver was, but there was, I think, Fuchs was actually more in the area of the ball.
Jay Bondi, 27, was kind of looking at the ball too. So, but that'll make it second down, and I'm sure at this point of the game we're going to see a few more. Coach Mike Twigg, assistants Jim O'Brien, Brian Clark, Cody Clark, and Joe Emery are heading up the Garden City coaching squad.
There's a handoff. This is Ledasic, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and is pulled forward for a gain of about a yard. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9 at the 49-yard line. They're just inside of Oriole territory. And that's that counter play right there, Ted, that has had some success today. Ledasic got to basically an off-tackle position, but I think that was Drew Nix that held his own and wrestled him forward. 3rd down for the Cougars. The clock continues to run. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this one. 58-37. It's like a basketball score. Waynick back to pass, and he's got that nice rifle arm, and he had a receiver out there, number 27, Bosman. Bosman was in the open, and don't know really what happened on that one, Ted. I mean, it looked like the ball was right there where it should be, and Bosman was open, and that'll bring up 4th down, stops the clock. 4 minutes to go. Ball at the 49-yard line. Hunter Waynick still calling signals. He is shown to be the passing quarterback today. Jacob Ladasic has shared the other half of the quarterback duties. I formation. Fake. This one's an underneath flat pass, and McDaniel
short of the first down. He had to cross the 40-yard line for the first down, and he fell just short of the 40.
And a very nice play right there, Ted. You know, they didn't go deep downfield right there. They got McDaniel out in space, and they tried to get him to make something happen, and he was just tackled just 1 yard short of the first down. So the ball will go over on downs to the Orioles. So 4 minutes to go here in this one. And this been Drew Nix has been taken over when also Brooks has had to sit out because of the 21-point differential. And then now I would think with 4 minutes to go, this is where you really want to take some time off the clock and kind of take this one into the locker room as a victory, Ted.
Well, you don't need any points. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to run the clock off, and you're going to keep it rolling. And take this one home and celebrate it. Monday, go over and start for next week.
Drew Nix, number 23, takes the ball in center. I formation for the Orioles. They're 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. The ball's handed off to Fournier. Cal Fournier finds some rough sledding in there. Takes the initial hit and got stood up and then falls forward with some positive momentum as he gains 2 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. And 8 to go, the ball at the 43-yard line.
Just running out the clock here. The GCYAA football. The Cougars trail by 21.
Well, it's been, I think there was maybe 1 turnover in this game. Other than that, it's been pretty much 4-down territory. And both teams have really put some offense on the other team. Just that Orioles have a little bit more of it. I formation, Fournier the deep back, and he takes it. Tries to get in, gets back maybe the yard of scrimmage, maybe falls ahead for a yard, does Fournier.
Well, it's tough to run when you have 8 people in the box and everybody in the park knows you're going to run.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, with Fournier's stature, you know, his best bet is to try and move and find a hole and see if he can get ahead a little bit. He's not a power runner like we've seen Scherslag for him. So, you know.
If you watch in this I formation, the up back is really close to the quarterback.
Yeah, and they're giving a deep pitch back to Fournier, so by the time he, gets a handle on the ball, he's already got defenders on him. California number 4, the deep back. He has the orange shoes in the I formation. Drew Nix, the quarterback, is handed off to Fournier, and once again, just as soon as he gets the ball, there's a defender on him, and he's dropped down, and that's going to bring up 4th down. He lost a yard. 4th and 8 from the 43-yard line. The clock continues to run as we are going to be under 2 minutes to go in this one. Livonia Orioles having a 58-37 lead. They've really kind of been in command most of the game, Ted. They hit the Garden City with a 20 spot in that first quarter, and Garden City hasn't really been able to recover. They've made a game of it at times, but that 20-point lead has always kind of been there.
Well, you kind of know where the teams stand because most of Garden City's points have come against the second-team defense.
Drew Nix calling it 4th down. And he's going to back up, and he's going to try his own number. And once again, 8 men in the box, Ted, you called it right on. The sledding is going to be very tough as the clock is going to stop as we're going to change possession. The Garden City will take over the ball at the 43-yard line on downs. Be a minute and 26 seconds to go when the officials start the clock again.
as we are settling down here, we have very short time. We have to give the crew some time between the games. So we want to thank our whole crew for coming out here for Omni Edition. And we really want to thank the boss, who, Dan York, is not only not in the truck directing, he is upstairs on top of the roof where the wind's blowing, and he is probably the coldest man in the plane.
I would call him the multi-threat Dan York. Okay, under center. The clock is started now, and Wayneck throws a bomb, and he's got a man open, and he's going to be going into the touchdown. The excellent play. He led Terrence Westbrook and laid it right in the breadbasket.
Well, when you got a minute 18 left of the game and you're trailing by 21, throw the ball. And if I add that up, 8 and 3 is a 1, carry the 1, 5 and 4 is 9 and 1. That's 101.
Wow.
101 points scored in this GCYAA football classic. And this is a tape, if you like offense, you got to like this game.
Wow, and Hunter Wayneck is putting on a show, and albeit maybe against the second-team defenders, but nonetheless, you've got to put that ball in there, and he has done a terrific job. He's hit Ramos twice for touchdowns, and now that one he laid it in perfectly to Terrence Westbrook.
Anytime a quarterback has 3 passing touchdowns in a game, that's impressive.
Yes, individual effort by Ramos as he took one like a bubble screen, if you will, and was an individual effort, but then the other 2 were right on the money to Ramos, and then that one was laid in there perfectly as Westbrook got his step as they're going for the extra point. Turns the ball up north and runs into a defender as he looked like he had momentum, Ted, but he's going to fall short.
Watch here, here's a touchdown pass, Phil, and he's caught this ball, and he's protecting it, and he gets in the end zone.
And notice how he was changing hands right there. The idea behind that is to protect the ball sometimes.
Terrence Westbrook.
When you get the ball in that outside hand like that, if it were to get poked out, the more likely is it's going to go out of bounds, and you're going to still retain possession. That's good fundamental teaching right there.
43 points, and you're on the south end of the score.
Well, and there were some guys off to the 8 players that were picked to sit out. Probably thought their day was finished, and
Guess what?
They could come back for more.
We get to play again.
So there's actually 1 minute and 18 seconds to go in this one. Garden City has 3 timeouts if they want to start stopping the clock.
And the cheerleaders are learning to count to 43 and jumping at the same time.
Well, that's going to be, you know what? When do they do the combination between the jumping jacks and the leg lifts?
Yeah, they were doing leg lifts up to about 25.
Ball is kicked, and this one is going to be recovered by Garden City, Ted. I believe that they're the man on it as the ball ricocheted off the Orioles. And yes. They're going to have it. Yep, they got it.
Orioles got it.
Wow, that was almost a big turn of events right there. That's only a 15-point lead. And with 1 minute and 18 to go, that's plenty of time, as we've seen in this game.
I'm thinking about asking my son out to dinner tonight and discuss formations.
Defense?
Defense.
Did they have that in this game?
Dad, you never told me about that.
58 to 43, and we have time left on the clock. So after that recovery, see, once again, it was farther away from us, Ted Boy, but that ball bounced around, came off of an Oriole player, and thought Garden City had a shot at it, but Orioles got it, so they'll take over now. 1:18 to go in this one, and that's a 50-yard line. And
they've got the first team back in.
That's going to be Drew Brooks at quarterback. That's going to be the up back is going to be 57, Jacob Sherlag. And then, of course, the deep back is going to be Joseph Schmidt. Schmidt has been in the end zone 4 times today. Sherlag 3 times. Make that 5 times for Schmidt.
Well, they just took a knee on that play, so it's now second down. He's basically going to run the clock off here. So let's wrap it up here as it's 58-43 with the clock under a minute, and the Orioles taking the victory formation. And hopefully we don't have the controversy we had last Sunday in the NFL where the Cougars come charging across the line here.
Is Greg Shano down there anywhere?
And there's another one, and I think he might have to do, is there 40 seconds behind? That might do it. And Phil, I guess the only thing you can say is two teams with a lot of offense. Joe Schmidt having 5 touchdown day. Surlock with 3 touchdowns, and Fuchs with a couple for Garden City, and a lot of offense.
A lot of offense. California even found the end zone on a nice TD reception, and of course 3 TDs thrown by Hunter Waynick. Fuchs had on 2 carries. He had 128 yards in rushing.
Mr. Ramos, Ramos with 2 touchdown catches.
Absolutely. It was an offensive game. If you get a chance to watch this one again, if you're joining us late and you get a chance to watch it again, by all means, it was a very entertaining game. And Ted, I'm looking forward to game number 2.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's game on Omni Edition Sports. Your final score, 58-43, Livonia Orioles over your Garden City Cougars. We'll be back very soon with Game 4 in this extended sports weekend on Omni Edition Sports. Good night.